All right, welcome to episode 6, right?
Think so.
Sports nerds. Yeah. Last week was episode 5. Um, so today, what we're going to do is we're going to begin with the Final Four discussion. Well, more or less the national championship at this point. Kind of discuss that, and then we'll start to work our way into a little bit more basketball news, touch a little baseball, and maybe a little bit on Masters, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I think. First off was we're still trying to determine who won the bracket. We'll let everyone know next week, especially considering Kentucky got demolished me and Max from the running. So now it's a debate on where we're pretty sure that Mike's got it in the bag, but we're just going to confirm it and let you all know next week. So I was surprised Kentucky lost. I'll begin it. I didn't really see that happening, but then when I watched the game, I kind of understood. I think it just ended up being not enough. I don't know. They had a lot of close games. I don't know. I can't really come up with the why behind it. But once Wisconsin won and played Duke, I had a feeling Duke would beat them just because I think Duke had the better high-level athlete, I would say. I think Duke had with Jaleel, I believe it's Jaleel. Had the better overall athlete. And that's just what happens in the NCAA game anymore is if you've got the best NBA player, you're going to win. But it just happened to be that I guess maybe Kentucky, we'll find out, had good guys, but maybe they're not superstars. I guess we'll find out. Mike, Max, what do you all think?
I totally agree with you there. Well, first of all, you guys can both suck it.
Yeah.
I called Wisconsin going to that, and I had them winning it. But hey, we can't all get always get what we want, but you get what we need.
Yeah.
And what I needed was Wisconsin to go there and Kentucky to lose. So, but yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Phil. As far as talent goes, it seemed to me watching that game that Wisconsin kind of was more kind of fundamentally sound. They had the more fundamentals down, but when it comes to overall talent, it's tough to beat overall talent. And not to mention Coach K, this is his 5th title, and Bo Ryan, this is he's only gotten a whiff of this only a couple of times, which he's a decent coach, but I don't think he's as good as nowhere near the echelon as Coach K is. And I think that ought to let to. I mean, they had Kaminsky, he's good, but a lot of these guys, and I see this with a lot of teams. All these teams that have a lot of upperclassmen talent, that means basically, their talent is very limited, but their basketball knowledge is really good, as opposed to where all these these freshmen, sophomore, these one and done, two and done guys, they got the skills to go to the next level. And I think that's just basically what beat Wisconsin. And there's a lot of back and forth about the referee calls, but you see Wisconsin get a call, then and everyone's complaining, and then you see Duke get a call. So I thought they did a decent job at least trying to balance that out. And
whatever, man. Wisconsin got robbed.
Well, let's get your perspective. What do you think?
No, I was just so in shock from Kentucky losing. I did not see that happening, and then while it was going down, I didn't believe it, and it was I just thought Kentucky was hands down the better team, and then Wisconsin they played some good basketball. They just played some solid basketball, and I think that was like you're saying, as their strength is that they played pretty much fundamentally super sound basketball, and then that won the day, and then just wasn't enough for to topple Duke on top of everything else. Yeah, it was a really solid Duke team. Fucking obviously, because they won.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was just more shocked from the Kentucky loss than I was from anything else. I just didn't see it coming, and then.
Yeah, and I think what factored into that really came down to coaching, because we talked about this previously, that Calipari is a hell of a recruiter, but I don't think he, as far as an X's and O's guy, is nearly as good as as a Izzo or as a Boeheim or a Coach K, and I think that's what did them in. Kentucky had all the talent in the world, but I think when it came down to playing fundamentally sound basketball and keeping the players' heads right, I think that's what kind of failed Kentucky. And I think that's where Duke kind of shined at the end there, and they let them close it out there at the end. So.
Yeah, but I mean, it was good. I thought it was good basketball.
Oh,
good
they were both
tournament.
great games.
Yeah, and
except for the Michigan State game, that was just
yeah,
that was a prison rape.
Michigan State. But I mean, hey, like Big Ten, 2 teams in the Final Four.
Yeah, in a down year. Yeah.
I mean, come on, in a down year. I mean,
well, that's what everyone said it was.
Whatever, man. You got to throw that little asterisk out there. We don't. Big
it
Ten.
wasn't an asterisk, but I mean, it was more or less everyone thought that the Big Ten was going to suck this year, and they did.
Okay. I thought you said it's like an overall down year for the entire
no,
NCAA.
no, child.
You're like, yeah, you know, when the NCAA is scrappy, yeah, the Big Ten gets in there every now and again, but
yeah.
But no, I thought it was really good. I had a lot of fun. So again, lots. It's the dance, so anything can happen, and we had enough spoilers out there. We had enough people shaking it up, so it was good. I thought
it was a good tournament. You always get that one Cinderella going to that Final Four, and this year was Michigan State. Even though they weren't a traditional Cinderella, but with the kind of talent they had this year and their seeding, I thought it was a pretty formidable Cinderella. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll have to see if, especially with, I guess this kind of segues into the next conversation, is kind of see what are they going to do if they're going to change the rules, because there was a lot of complaints about the referee calls and how tough. I mean, the last few years that I can remember, at least the last 4 or 5, the complaint has been that the game keeps slowing down in college. And speaking of that, Mark Cuban decided to basically comment on he doesn't really enjoy watching the college game anymore. And it's mostly because of the physical slowdown style that's become common. And I think that kind of has to do kind of with what you touched on, Mike, about the one and dones or two and dones versus the upperclassmen, right? Because the one and dones, two and dones have got the talent. They just don't have necessarily the knowledge. And then the question becomes of the senior upperclassmen is how do they control those guys to be able to stop them, to not let them take advantage of it. And I think that's where the physical play kind of comes in.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, historically, you've always had the full court press. I mean, that's one thing I always loved about the college game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Full court press is, yeah. It's the beauty about that full court press is it can really turn the momentum around real quick. Especially if you just keep running it, and you just get a couple steals here, or interrupt a possession here, a possession there. Just getting 1 or 2, 3 stops within a few minutes, it can really kind of turn the momentum around. So, but no, I totally agree. I do agree that the game it can do some improvement. For a couple things, I really think the shot clock needs to be taken down from 35 seconds. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Over a half a minute, and I mean, it can be to your advantage, but it also it's an advantage for the team with the ball, but I also think it's a disadvantage for the fans because advantage for the team, you can just work that clock, but at the same time though, there's not too much pressure on scoring, and there's just a lot of dribbling, and then it's like you can have you can dribble the clock, dribble the ball for 35 seconds and get and all that time for a missed shot, or all that time for a steal, and I think if you even change it to 30 seconds, it'll be an improvement. And also, I also think that if they move the 3-point line back to an NBA style 3-point, not only will it get these guys even more prepared for the next level, but on top of that, it'll also open up the paint and kind of spread the floor a little bit, so you can see a lot more slashing as opposed to this really slowed down type of basketball where everyone's just crowding that paint area. And I think if you just move that 3-point line back to the NBA, I think it'll do some wonders. But as opposed to changing the eligibility and all that stuff, and so because there's opponents and there's people for it, people against it, and without messing with that rule, there's definitely things that can be done. So. What about you?
Everything he said, and change the eligibility.
I'd like to see eligibility change too, but I mean, I don't know. It's colleges. I mean, sometimes you think that Congress is more competent than the NCAA. I mean, it's really back and forth. I mean, I'm sure their approval ratings are around the same too, but it's like just the ability to get with the times and to get stuff done. I mean, neither one.
And you think a collegiate athletic association would be able to figure this stuff out?
Yeah.
But apparently they need to go back to school, I guess. I don't
Oh my gosh. Nice. I don't know if that was intentional, Max.
Absolutely intentional, sir. I get one good one a day.
Nice. Yeah,
done now.
Yeah, I'm just not going to talk for the rest of the thing.
Very nice. I like it. So yeah, I'm in the same boat with you, Max. I kind of think they need to change the rule for eligibility, but they need to allow people that want to go pro to be able to go to NBDL if they don't want to accept them in the NBA.
Yeah.
And that needs to become a viable product. And it needs to be, to me, it would make more sense, but I don't know if they have the infrastructure to do this, but to turn the NBDL, or I guess is it NBA developmental league? I don't know.
They call it the D League, yeah.
The Diet League?
Yes, basically developmental. But
it's kind of like the minor leagues of pro ball.
Yeah.
Without having to go to Europe.
Europe's so nice
or Asia.
So that's why I think they need to go to like the baseball rule, right? Where you either go to the minor leagues, or if you're good enough, I guess they could allow you in the pros. But if they don't want to do that, just allow them to play in the minors for whatever, a year, and then allow them to potentially go up to the pros. Or they have to go to college for at least 3 years, because I think that would, one, help improve the game of college basketball a lot. And I do think they need to do the shot clock. They need to shrink it some. They definitely need to mess with the three-point line. Whether or not it's the exact same as the pros, I don't know. I think that's something that has to be revisited, because I think, can the average person make that? If that's the case, if the average person can make the three-pointer, I mean, it doesn't really change the game that much, because that's usually what you want the difference from, right? Of amateurs to pros, and you want to see that difference. But I definitely think the shot clock has to change, because I think it's ridiculous, and I don't think you need that much time.
Yeah, it's.
Where's the developmental leagues line? Is that the same as the pros?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, fuck it, man. Put it back. Like, why not? Just.
Yeah, I mean, all you're really doing, right, is you just change it from your maybe non-super athletic person being able to hit a three to it now becomes you have to actually, have some basketball talent. That's all.
Yeah, you're not you've been playing at this point when you're playing for a college. You've been playing basketball for years now, so I'm sure you can do it. These guys are freaking finely tuned athletic machines. They give me a break. They're
Harvard and Yale, sir.
But I totally agree with you, Phil, as far as putting more emphasis on the D League. With that eligibility rule change. Not only will that'll get the kids that really need the money that can go out there and go out and get their money, but at the same time it's going to be such a better product with the D League that there's just going to be a high revenue stream. I highly doubt that these D League teams in these small market cities make a lot of money compared to a AAA baseball team. I guarantee you a AAA baseball team probably pulls in a lot more cash than a D League team does, and so I totally agree with that. I think it'll really help both products, and getting that 3-year rule in, it'll kind of bring us back to that college basketball that everyone fell in love with back in the 70s and the 80s, where you had you had Bird and Magic, battling each other in college, and they're battling each other in the pros. You had that whole Big East, all those powerhouses, and you're used to seeing the same faces every year, and it was just, it created the rivalries are so much more intense, as opposed to now it's like you got these one and done guys. It's like, I'm only here for a semester. I don't give a shit about, I don't care about playing Duke, or I don't care about, it's Ohio State Michigan game. What do I care? Duke Carolina game. What do I care about it? Kentucky Louisville. I don't really care about this school. I just care. I'm just trying to get drafted. And so I think, you make them stay longer, they get more committed to the school, and that just makes everything just so much more intense. And I'm all for that. So.
Yeah. And I think the added benefit too is the players that do go to college or even the developmental league either. They get more training specific to what they're looking for, right? So like if you go to the developmental league, you learn how to be a pro really quickly. If you go to college, you actually get to enjoy your life and learn how to play a little bit. So, and I think that's the advantage. Plus, that allows the coaches, the great coaches, to actually bring people up and develop players into great players. I mean, it still happens occasionally today where you get 3 or 4 year guys that people are surprised, like Danny Granger was one, and Paul George was another.
Dwayne Wade was one too, I want to say.
Yes, Dwayne Wade was. Yeah.
Yeah, for a few years. But yeah, no, absolutely. And and I mean, who's coming out this year that's going to be really big in the draft is probably going to be Kaminsky. That's stuck around.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is either going to be a freshman or a sophomore, really. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So, what do we want to segue to next? Did we want to touch baseball, or do we want to go Masters?
Well, let's talk baseball because I got my vintage Rick Vaughn Indians jersey on right now, and I figured we could talk a little baseball. We could talk a little baseball. It was opening day this week, and maybe we could go around as far as predictions go. I got my picks. As far as baseball goes. If you want me to start with mine, I can, or if you want to go, or.
Yeah, I'll let you start. I mean, I have one team. I just got to figure out my other team. I forgot.
Okay. All right. We'll start with the American League real quick here. So in the East, I'm going to have to probably go with the Orioles. Boston and New York. New York's got the whole A-Rod thing hanging over their head. Sabathia's getting long in the tooth, and their other guy, Tanaka. He's got that problem with his elbow. He might bounce back, he might not. Jeter's gone. Teixeira hasn't been really earning his paycheck. What he's getting paid. So I don't see the Yankees really doing too much. Boston, the same thing. They won it a couple of years ago with a bunch of no names, but now they kind of went back to being the high spending Red Sox. And you got all this drama with Ortiz about taking steroids. I just don't see them doing it. So I'm going to have to go with the Orioles. They got a solid team. They got a solid manager. And so I'm going to look for the Orioles to take the East. As far as the Central, I got to go with my Windians. I got to. They've already, we're 3 games deep right now, and Indians pitchers have thrown, I want to say, they've got 1 through 7 strikeouts. I went through, I want to say, 11. The other one through 10. Strikeouts, and they're just looking really good right now. I think their problem will be scoring runs, but I think their pitching will keep them in a lot of games. So I'm going to have to go with the Indians in the Central. In the West, I'm going to have to go with the Angels. I mean, they kind of got it all. They're the total package. As good as the A's are and competitive as the A's are, the Oakland Athletics. I think just for the non-baseball guy.
I know that they made a movie about that.
Okay, I didn't know if you saw the movie or not. But I'm going to have to go with the Angels, though. I'm a really big fan of Mike Trout. I think he's one of those guys that's going to be the new face. He already kind of is. The new face of Major League Baseball. So I'm going to have to go with the Angels in that division. Wild card spots, they got 2 of them now. I'm going to have to reserve one of those spots for the Oakland A's because I will think that they're going to be really competitive. Billy Beane, Brad Pitt really knows how to put together a squad. So I think he'll put together a competitive enough squad to take one of those spots. The other wild card spot, I'll have to go with the Red Sox. They did make some big moves, and I think it'll be just enough to get them there. So those are my picks for the AL. National League.
Oh my goodness.
What?
That's all one side of things?
Yeah, well, they just created the wild card. It's only a 1-game series.
That's just...
So,
how many baseball teams are there?
6, but they used to only have 4.
No, like, how many total baseball teams are there?
Oh, there's like 30 or something like that.
Okay, that's not...
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't know a whole bunch about baseball.
It's okay.
I hate baseball.
If you have any questions, I got Bleacher Report and ESPN right here.
Like the way you just read all, you're like, okay, in the West, and I'm like, okay, so like we're fucking. I thought that was the whole thing, and we're just halfway there.
No, we still got the National League, baby.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I'm down. I'm in gear now.
Yeah, so National League, even though they got a slow start right now, I got to go with the Washington Nationals. They just got a hell of a squad, man. They picked up Shields in the offseason, so their pitching staff is going to be solid. I really like Bryce Harper. I think he's a Mike Trout kind of guy. He's going to be one of the faces that that's going to be carrying this game for the next 10 years, I would say. And so I have to go with them in the East. Central, I got to go with my father-in-law's team, the St. Louis Cardinals. They got Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright, and it just seems no matter who else they get, they come in and get the job done. And that just goes with management and in their front office just being able to scout to find good talent and plug them in the right spots. So the Cardinals always seem to be in the postseason and find a way to win. So I got to go with the Cardinals in the Central. The West, I got to go with my team away from team. I lived out there for a couple years in LA, so I got to go with the Dodgers. They do have the highest payroll in baseball, and rightfully so. They should make the playoffs. Even though the Giants always seem to kind of creep up there at the end. But I'm gonna go with the Dodgers though, even though they lost Matt Kemp, and they'll probably get rid of Andre Ethier sometime this year. They'll probably look to get rid of his contract. But Yasiel Puig, another guy who's going to be up and coming. He's probably going to be one of the faces of baseball if he ever learns to run the bases right. He's just
what does he run, like kickball style?
Well, he's kind of out of control. He's got all this raw talent, but he hasn't been really coached. You know what I mean, or managed.
Okay.
So he's just got to get his fundamentals down, and then I think he'll be one of the top players. So those are my 3 picks for the divisions. But as far as wild card goes, I'm gonna have to go with the Cincinnati Reds. I think. They got enough talent to get them to the playoffs. I just don't think they have enough talent to actually really do anything when they get to the playoffs. So I'm going to take them, and then I'm also going to take the Giants, the San Francisco Giants. They're kind of like the Cardinals. Kind of no matter who plays for them, they always can put together a hell of a team, and I think that just goes with the front office and their management. So those are my picks. So I know it's a mouthful, but.
Oh no! I was like, I'm sorry for interrupting you halfway through. It wowed me. There's just a lot of just don't do it again. A lot of stats and a lot of stuff coming at me, and I was like, holy crap! And that was halfway.
Yeah. So
we'll get on with the rest of Mike's picks.
Nice. But yeah, for as far as the NL, I definitely have to agree with you. I think the Nats, even with the slow start, eventually they'll. I mean, the baseball season's so damn long.
That's also
I never understood when they know a slow start is bad until about after like a month. Then I'm like, yeah, okay, that's definitely a slow start.
Yeah. But they've just been losing to the Mets recently, so I'm just like, wow. So I think they'll get it together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Mets are expected to be good because they have talent, but usually they F it up. So.
Exactly.
But I agree with you. I think definitely will be the Nats in the East. In the West, I think it's the Dodgers. The Central, I think the Pirates might surprise, but I'm just going to go with the old faithful and say the Cards because I just don't know if the Pirates have it all together yet. But I definitely put the Pirates in as my 4 seed, I think, for the wild card.
Yeah.
I definitely would go with them. And this one would probably surprise you. I actually think the Padres. I think the Padres, they're a younger team. I think the Giants will be there. I think it'll come down to the end of the season like it does. And I could be wrong on this. The Giants could swing it because they are a much more veteran team with a lot more experience, and so they might hold it off. But that's my prediction right now is the Pirates for the last wild card. And
you like that? Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do like that Padres pick though. They did make a lot of big moves in the offseason here, and that kind of mixture with some veteran guys and a young team, they can be good. So.
Yeah. So we'll have to see on that one. As far as the AL, I'm going to go without West. I'm going to go with the M's. Just because I think maybe this will be the year that they're pitching, their aces finally come through for them. And as long as they can, get Cano's still at least performing, even though the Yankees refuse to pay him. And overall, I think as long as they can hold them off, I think they have a chance. We'll see. I mean, out West, it's still, I think, tough in the AL. But I think their aces are what's going to get them through that. In the Central, see, I want to trust the Indians, but I don't know. I mean,
don't trust the Indians. Half of this is because it was a homer pick. So
okay. Well, so for me, to me they're like the Pirates. I'm like, I want to say they win the division, but I'm just going to go with Old Faithful and say the Tigers, and they just get into that first wild card slot, guaranteed. I definitely think they're a playoff team.
Never trust a Cleveland team.
And then again, for me, the East, I've basically reversed your picks of Sox and Orioles. I have the Sox getting in. The only reason I say that is just because they're known to make trades. And I think if they're number 2 long enough to the Orioles, I think they'll make a trade for somebody big that will put them over the hump. And the Orioles don't really have that power because they're like the Rays used to be, and the Marlins. Well, yeah, the Marlins used to be. It's just they build them up. They don't necessarily trade or buy.
Exactly.
So I put the Sox there, and then the Orioles getting in. And I definitely think it'll be interesting. So, I mean, if that actually happens, that'll be ridiculously interesting in this area because they go nuts when the Orioles and the Nats are both in it at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Especially, your neck of the woods. Oh, I would imagine it's probably heaven over there. So.
Yeah.
So, Philip, who's your personal favorite team? Like, who do you root for?
So, traditionally, which is going to be awful, I mean, I'm a Tampa Bay man through and through. So, even when they got rid of the Devil Rays and went to straight Rays, I was actually excited that we were actually good for a while. Because before that, I was a Marlins fan. So, I mean, here I'm trying to adapt, I guess, to become a Nationals fan, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a loyalist in that sense for baseball as I am with football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think this is going to be a really fantastic baseball season because there's just so many teams that have a lot of potential to really do good. You got the NL Central, which is always going to be. You got the Cardinals, the Reds, the Pirates, and now on top of that, you got those guys in Chicago. Everyone's talking about the Cubs might be good. Finally after 100 years. You got the West. You got of course the A's have been competitive, and then you also got the Angels, but now the Mariners. They got King Felix pitching, and then they got Robbie Cano batting now, so they could really be making some noise. And so it's just there's just a lot of you kind of have your traditional type of teams or the teams that we've been accustomed to these past couple of years, but on top of that, there's all these other teams that got this this huge influx of talent coming their way, and it's just more it'll be exciting to see whether or not these teams kind of deliver. And so as slow as baseball is, and as uninteresting as it can be at times, I think it'll be really exciting. Especially come September. So
I'm gonna pick the teams that I've actually been to their games.
Okay.
There's 2.
I've been the Reds and the Indians.
No, I've never been to an Indians game because I know better than to go into Cleveland unless you have to. But now I'm going to take the Tigers and the Dodgers, and that's all the teams. That's not a conflict of interest, is it? Okay, yeah. So those are my teams.
Is that your World Series pick?
Yeah,
that's basically a World Series pick. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what's going to Tigers Dodgers World Series 2015.
A lot of people in Vegas would probably agree with you.
Hey man, I
don't feel bad about that.
I can't. No. Because I had to pick teams based off of something.
I'm just glad you picked the Dodgers because I started rooting for the Dodgers when I moved out to LA because it was the only team right at the time that was really bad. And the next week they got Gonzalez and all those guys. They made like the super trade, and then they went from worst to first. And then everyone's like called me a bandwagon fan. I was like, hey, I was a true fan.
I got here 5 minutes early.
Yeah, I got here 5 minutes early. So.
I did a flag ceremony at a Dodgers game, and then my girlfriend took me to a Tigers game one time.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's my whole baseball history. The games are fun. Like I like going to see baseball, but as far as watching it on TV or paying attention in pretty much any other capacity, I'm not down for it.
TV can be rough.
I agree with you. TV definitely can be rough. Live is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for me it's Nats, and I'm giving your team some love, so they better keep it in there. I'm going Nats Indians.
There we go.
Tigers, go Tigers.
Well, actually, I have Indians versus Tigers. That's my matchup. So.
Cool. Well, you guys want to talk a little golf?
Yeah, let's talk a little golf.
All right.
You're being all classy here today.
I am being very classy. I am drinking some red wine here in honor of the Masters. So you got to classy it up, Masters. So I'll be the first one to admit I suck at golf, but I love playing it. I really don't follow golf too much, but I'm familiar with the guys that with the heavy hitters as far as golf goes, and I always enjoy kind of watching it on a Sunday. But with Tiger just being so bad right now, I think it's really opened the door for a new breed of golfers to kind of come out of his shadow and really kind of take this game by storm. And it's a lot of young people, people our age, they're mid to late 20s, early 30s that are really dominating this league right now. So and the one thing that is nice about this is that when Tiger was in his prime, on his strict regimen of hookers, he was unstoppable, and everyone kind of knew he was going to be there at the end of every Sunday. He was going to be there.
Were they hookers or just sluts?
Oh, they were. Well, usually a hooker is a slut.
Well, no,
it's a professional slut.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can be a slut for free.
Well, yes, but that's that's between hook. It's like being an amateur and a pro. You get paid when you're a pro.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just saying they didn't
discriminate.
I'd expect Tiger Woods to get a higher class of hookers. All I'm saying.
Well, let's get back to talking about balls and shafts. Here. Golf shafts, that is, and golf balls.
Yes, no.
So it was that time that everyone knew Tiger was going to be in the running at the end of every tournament, but now it's kind of who's it going to be. So there's there's that drama there. So just randomly here, I'm looking at the updates right now as far as the first year. You got Jordan Spieth, who's an American. He's 8 under right now, and he is he's only 21 years old. So he's in the lead right now with -8. You got Jason Day, -6. Charlie Hoffman, I don't know who the hell that is. You got Ernie Els in the run. Justin Rose. So, as far as picking some guys here, I was talking with Max earlier. My pick for the Masters, and this is strictly being a homer. I was picking Jason Day, and earlier during the round he was at -2, but now he's number 2 right now at -6. But Jason Day, he's from Australia, but his wife is from my hometown, Westerville, Ohio, and he's got a house here in Westerville. So I'm on the Jason Day bandwagon, so I'm picking Jason Day to win it.
Well, he's solid number 2 all by himself right now?
Yes, yeah. But
my pick, I'm just reading this name right now. He's tied for 12th, Kevin Streelman, because I feel like his name is a combination of steel and street. So he's tough as
man.
Yeah, and he's like a man. He's tough as steel, and he's from the streets, and he's like the badass of golf. And he's probably
he's the man of steel streets.
Yes.
Something like
that. But I'm gonna pick that guy because I like his name. I think he's like a cracked out superhero. Streelman. He's all drunk and shit. I'm Streelman.
Masters.
King of the streets. Tough as steel.
Nice.
Oh man.
So I'm probably going to go. I mean, this is probably going to be seeming like an obvious pick, but so from what I remember, Jordan Spieth is supposed to be the next it guy. From what I remember, all the news and everything. I can't remember if it was him or if it was somebody else, because I remember, was it McIlroy that won the last few years, but he's injured this year, I believe.
Yeah.
He's playing. Rory McIlroy.
Is he?
He is playing, but he's kind of struggling right now. He's 1 under.
He's tied for 19th.
He's tied for 19th, but this is the first round, so they got 3 more days. Anything can happen.
Streelman's making his big move tomorrow.
Nice.
But I do like your pick though, Spieth. He is. They were saying earlier today, I was watching the round, and they were saying if he wins, he will be the youngest person to ever win the Masters. The youngest person to ever win the Masters was actually Rory McIlroy, and he got McIlroy
Tiger before, right?
Yeah, that's right. And then but Spieth's got McIlroy beat by 3 months as far as age goes. So if he would win, so but I don't know. So go Jason Day, Westerville.
Yeah, Westerville and Streelman.
You've got at least a better reason.
Streelman, woo!
Yeah, but
Golf.
It should make for an interesting round here. I mean, you got a lot. I'm just looking at the leaderboard right now. I also like Bubba Watson, even though he's 1 under and he's tied for 19th right now. But
Bubba Watson, like his name is Bubba.
His name's Bubba Watson.
That's awesome.
He's a lefty too. He's a cool dude.
I want that guy to win too.
He won the Masters before, so
Yep.
He's gonna tie with Streelman. It's gonna go to a shootout. Sudden death golf.
Wasn't Dustin Johnson? Didn't Dustin Johnson win once before?
Yeah, Dustin Johnson. Yeah, he's actually he's tied for 12th too with your boy Streelman.
Streelman.
At 2 under. There's a lot of guys here at 3 under and 2 under, and anything can happen. All it takes is for a couple of these guys to get hot, a couple of these guys to start tanking, and that's the cool thing about golf. And it really is an endurance sport. And so it'll be interesting to kind of see here coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, you never know.
Who takes this?
You never know when your wife is going to find out about your 10 other girlfriends and she's going to bash out the back of your windshield and then divorce you, thus throwing off your game forever. You never know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, and then you can't reactivate your glutes, and and then everything just goes to hell.
It's a terrible downward spiral. Like, what happened, Tiger? Get it together, Tiger.
Oh, awesome.
Well, yeah. So
Tiger needs to have 12 hooker day tonight.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to fix him anymore, man. I think he's physically broken now.
Yeah.
I mean, the combination of not being on the hooker regimen and then the guy's he's a workout warrior, and I think he just, you lift. I mean, there's nothing wrong with lifting weights and working out, but it's like, when you're playing golf, when you're always moving your joints and stuff like that, I mean, you have to limit yourself when it comes to hitting the weight room. And, it's nice being cut and bench pressing a truck and all that stuff. But, if every time you're swinging your driver and your back kills you, I mean, is it really worth it? So
not if you're a golfer.
Well, yeah. That's when those erotic massages come in handy.
Yeah,
come in handy. So.
Hey, man. Maybe he can work his way back up to 10 hookers. Like, you start with 3 or 4 hookers now, and we're not trying to get you back down to back to 23 when you're 23 and rocking everything every day, but build back up.
I think Lindsey Vonn though would probably beat all the hookers to death with her skis. I mean, she's not small.
Do you think she could take Ronda Rousey?
Ooh, I smell pay-per-view.
What did Ronda Rousey just get? Oh, she was in WrestleMania.
She was in WrestleMania.
Beating up girls still. Like, no man will fight Ronda Rousey. She can't even, get a staged wrestler to fight her.
She had to beat up Stephanie McMahon. It wasn't even, one of the real WWF divas. It was, so.
Whatever. Ronda Rousey will fight a dude sometime before I die. We're both, she's going to be 80.
Fight some 21-year-old.
Yeah,
she'll still win.
It's gonna be some crazy freaking reality TV show.
It'll be like on that Celebrity Boxing.
Yeah.
Like Tanya Harding was in.
Yeah.
We can get her to fight Tanya Harding.
That would be pretty cool.
There you go. But
I think we talked about that.
We probably did.
I think that was mentioned.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
We probably shouldn't do this.
Anyway,
right,
what else do we got?
Well, I think that's it for golf. Unless you got anything else, Phil, about golf or no?
Nope. Spieth was it, man. That was my card.
No, that was your pull.
He's got Spieth. I got Jason Day. Actually, Jason Day just went from he's tied for second now, but yeah. And then you got Streelman.
Tied for 12, I think. Hopefully, still
the dark horse.
Yep.
He's probably done.
Oh, he's done for the day. Yeah.
But yeah. So. We got anything else?
Le'Veon Bell and LeGarrette Blount.
Oh yeah,
these guys like to ride dirty.
Cypress Hill.
They shouldn't have caught you riding dirty, and so Le'Veon Bell is getting a 3-game suspension, and LeGarrette Blount's in a 1-game suspension. I just think that's the dumbest thing ever. I mean, guys, you really only have to not smoke pot for 10 to 15 years, okay? Just don't smoke pot for that long.
It's not even that. I mean, if you come in in the league, with basically a clean slate, they're not going to test you in the off season. The only people they test in the off season are people that test positive during the season. So it's like that's what happened to Josh Gordon. May his career rest in peace.
Dude, oh my goodness!
But,
is he still allowed to play?
He's out for the year.
For the year?
Yeah, because he failed an alcohol test.
Oh my god!
Because he got a Dewey, and so so it just shit rolls downhill with him.
Yeah.
But I mean, how stupid do you have to be? I mean, granted, being a diehard Cleveland fan, I pray the worst to happen to Steelers players in general, especially Raplesberger. But how stupid do you have to be? They were sitting and they were waiting to get on a plane to go to a preseason game, and they're hotboxing the car. And then a cop stops them, and then they try to play this dumb card like, oh, I didn't know you couldn't smoke weed in a parked car. Like
in the state where it's
illegal. Like, give me a break, man. Le'Veon Bell, though, is an incredible talent. LeGarrette Blount's an incredible talent too. So it kind of sucks to see them, that happen to him. Even though I really don't care for LeGarrette Blount, but Le'Veon Bell, though, it'll suck for fantasy football. I tell you that much if he loses his appeal.
I mean, it's a 3-game suspension. So, yeah. I mean, that just kind of shakes it up because now you're like, okay, do I pick him up and hold on to him for 3 games, or is nobody going to pick him up? You don't know.
Well, I think he'll definitely get drafted. I just don't think he might not be a first round.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like Josh Gordon. Was it last season?
He was out for 12
last few seasons.
No.
Yeah, last 2 seasons.
No, 2 seasons ago it would have been where he was only out for like 3 or 4 games and then he blew up.
Yeah, and he led the league in receiving.
Yeah, but anywho, he sucked at the end of last season, didn't he?
Well, he just didn't care. He didn't try.
No, yeah, I was gonna say he did good for a game or 2, and then I think I don't know what happened. Something happened to him.
He started Mandel. That's what happened. Damn it!
Is he out of rehab yet?
No, but he has been getting. They've been giving him times where he can leave. So he left.
So he can go get drunk.
No, so Easter Sunday weekend, this past weekend, he got to go play golf with his dad. But other than that, they let him go visit local hospitals and visit dying kids.
Okay.
Sign footballs that won't be worth anything. So. Yeah. But yeah, so let's we'll cross that bridge later, but yeah, it's it's just dead news right now, really, for the NFL. So I mean, you got the Le'Veon Bell thing and
that's pretty much it.
BS trade rumors. So
or go with the other BS comment of the new coach for the Knicks, Derek Fisher, saying that they're going to go from worst to first. I mean, he did put some caveats that, well, if we get some free agents and all our players play well.
If everyone stays healthy and but,
maybe if we make every shot, and maybe if we score 200 points a game and
if I get $3 billion and maybe if world hunger gets cured, then we'll win every game.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Fisher. I really like Derek Fisher as a player and as a person, and I think this is just more or less just trying to be optimistic, kind of like how Phil Jackson was trying to be optimistic. How he apologized to all the season ticket people and promised them next year is going to be different, which means come this NBA draft, look for the Knicks to magically get the first overall pick or something like that. You know what I mean? Kind of like how they got Ewing. Look for the system to get rigged for the Knicks, and so maybe he's foreshadowing something, a little teaser. So, it'd be great to see the Knicks back at it. The Cavs are going to need somebody to battle with. I don't think the Bulls are going to be it. I think it's going to be them and the Wizards.
But Derrick Rose is going to play.
Oh, that's true. Derrick Rose is coming back. I don't think it's going to make a difference, though. I think
he's not going to play.
He'll get hurt again.
Yep.
He'll get kicked in the shin or something and retire.
Paper cut, I can't play.
But yeah, I mean, you can't fault Derek Fisher though for trying to be optimistic and to keep the fans, interested and But yeah, I don't see it happening for the Knicks unless they get a top 3 pick.
I mean, I get the optimism, but be a little more realistic, and we'll go from not worst to first, but we'll go from being worst to a playoff team, which that's extremely possible in the East. I mean,
yeah. I mean, the 8th seed's going to have probably a below 500 record, as usual. So it's not hard. I mean, us three, and give us 2 other guys. If we get the right coaching, I think we could probably compete for that eighth spot. So
if
and I suck at basketball.
Oh yeah, being black doesn't actually help you at basketball. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's that's a myth.
And you're like tall, like in regular dudes terms, but you're not like black tall.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm definitely not black basketball tall. For sure.
So you're not basketball tall. Yeah.
No, I mean I can get to the top shelf and everything, but I'm not dunking, by my own power.
He can clean your gutters, but he's not throwing down any dunks.
I ain't throwing the hammer down. To quote his favorite announcer.
That's right. Oh, the hammer down. LeBron James.
Yeah. So, you think we could do it though?
Well, I mean, like if I like got on your shoulders, and then if like Phil got on my shoulders.
Okay, yeah, and that would scare them too. We could wear a sheet. They think we're a crazy 6-armed ghost.
Just like a really long jersey. We could get it done. We could get it done.
Is this an episode of Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. And we would have got to wear it too if it weren't for those meddling kids.
It wasn't for that pesky.
LeBron James.
It wasn't for that pesky 8 seed.
That's all I got. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'll just the Buckeyes are the national champion. The football Buckeyes are the first.
And the wrestling Buckeyes.
And the wrestling Buckeyes.
And I believe they won the pistol national championship. They won either pistol or rifle or something. They won the shooting national championship too. So.
Yeah, so tread lightly when you come into Ohio. Is all I'm saying.
But it doesn't hurt too that you offer more D1 sports than any other school, like them in Texas. So, I mean, that kind of helps.
Whatever.
But it's all funded by their football program.
But we got the snipers, is all I'm saying.
On and off the field.
Nice, Max. Nice. I like it. But yeah, no, I'm all done. I'm all tapped for news. That was my last little bit.
Yo.
All right. Well.
All right. So we're gonna lock up this. We're gonna make it official with this bracket deal. We'll count up and make sure Mike has got the. I'm pretty sure you had the last 2 picked correctly.
Okay.
But
I'll take it if you want to give it to me.
I've been wrong before, and if there's some way that we can finagle my way back into it, I'm down. I don't think that's mathematically possible.
There's nothing wrong with bronze. You get 3rd place.
Yeah, 3rd place out of 3 is pretty good. I'm still on the podium. So.
That's right. We're just playing my national anthem, though, baby.
Hey, I mean, we're from the same country, so it's all good.
Oh, I'd be playing like Cleveland Rocks. Cleveland Rocks.
Yeah, no.
Nice. All right. So yeah, I think we'll confirm that and let you all know next week. I hope everyone's enjoyed our little chats. If there's any comments, anything you all want us to cover, we're going to work on some ideas for the cast to try and add some spice to the beginning. And as you'll see on the YouTube page, we actually have a logo that our friend Mike McGee made for us. So on the cover of our videos, you'll see our Sports Nerds logo. But yeah, feel free to check us out on iTunes. Oh yeah, do we need to do a do we need to make up for your mistake on Tuesday?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. If you are in the Columbus area, you can go ahead and check out BGMX on Hard Road and Strock Road, or go to bgmx.com for all your video game needs. And also check out GoGameIsland.com. And you can check out The Game Island at Polaris Fashion Mall if you're in the Columbus area. Sorry for not doing that on the Geek News.
It's all good. This is 3 Geeks News Network, or 3 Geeks Network, so we got you covered. But again, please like or comment if there's anything you're looking for on our YouTube video, and also feel free to check us out. We're adding more content daily to 3geeks.ninja, our website.
Yeah.
Nice. I like the ninja pose, Max. Appreciate it. But all right, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Cheers.